Hey everybody, this is part 2 of my how I make Orgonite. And before we get into casting, I'd like to talk about the resin that I use. So there's two types of resins that are predominantly available, and there's one is the 2-part, which you cannot see here. It's you pour this one amount of resin and then you pour the same amount in the catalyst. So it's a 2-part formula in order to make the resin get hard. So in this particular type of resin is a it's so many drops per ounce on the catalyst, and this resin has a very strong odor and it's pretty toxic while using it, so you want to wear a mask. But this for me is what I like to use because it guarantees that the resin's going to harden, it's going to stay hard, and it won't get soft or squishy or risking losing a batch. So I like using this because it gets really hot while it's curing, and then it shrinks and it solidifies. So it puts a lot of pressure inside everything that's inside, and I like that. So these are the types of plastics that go really well with this type of resin. So it's good. Like a good plastic is what you want. You don't want the cheap type. You want something that's gonna last. Like if you're paying $1 or $2, you might get one good use out of them. But if you're paying like $3, $4, or $5 for them, then you're getting your money's worth, because then you get to use them over and over again. So you sell one pendant and it pays for itself basically. So one thing I also want to mention is that with this particular resin, it does not work well with silicone molds. They do not like each other, and they never will, and so I never use them. They come out like not soft but kind of bubbly and rough, and they just, for whatever reason, they do not like each other. But that other resin that I was talking about, they go well together. So this type of resin goes really well with these type of molds, and also metal molds. Those are the another really great mold that you could use. I have some cooking over here. So I have some metal molds. This is a good plastic. You can find these at Hobby Lobby. It's these types of plastic that really work well, and this type as well. So before we get to casting, I figured I'd talk about this first because it's very important. There's a lot of really cool molds that are made out of silicone, but for me I can't use them because I don't like using that other type of resin, so I stick with these. This is the clear resin. You can get it at Hobby Lobby, and you use that 40% coupon, and Michael's as well. And then this one is the amber resin. So what I like to do to save, because this stuff's expensive, so what I like to do is I do 2 layers. I do the clear layer and I do this amber layer. This one's cheaper than this one, so you can save money, because the trick is to keep your costs at a minimum, so that way you don't have to oversell or struggle. So this resin is where I make my Orgonite. We'll get more into that, but this resin is where I basically, everything's clear, and it's the top part of the Orgonite that I make, the clear part, and then this is the black part that you see that makes up the Orgonite. So I hope this video helped. Well, it is gonna help. So if you have any other questions, just feel free to leave a comment, and thank you. Keep in touch for the third series. All right.